20 years ago, November 6, 1989, in this very same newscast, KLAS aired the very first part of a 9-part project. It was called UFOs, The Best Evidence. It was the new series that turned Area 51 into a name known all over the world, and it revealed the name also of Bob Lazar.
Now, that series was the highlight, the highest rated local news series to ever air here, and it is still being felt today in the way news organizations cover the UFO subject. Now, tonight, George Knapp of the I-Team is looking back at the series and about a new project that you are launching tonight, George.
Time flies, you know. We spent about 8 months putting this original series together, and it was my first foray into the wacky world of UFOs, certainly not the last, as we know. It's the series that made Area 51 famous, and while anyone who was around back then might remember it for that, the project had a much broader scope. Part 1 aired on this evening in 1989. Here's a glimpse of what it contained.
I saw this huge saucer-shaped vehicle, which it was brightly lit, and it appeared to have dark areas, portholes of some sort.
Did you see that? You know, everybody's, did you see that? You know, and everybody saw it, but nobody had an explanation.
I do know what I saw.
It wasn't a plane.
It wasn't a plane. It wasn't a helicopter.
It wasn't a weather balloon.
It wasn't a weather balloon. It wasn't a satellite.
It wasn't swamp gas.
It wasn't swamp gas. It wasn't any kind of light by itself. There was an actual object.
Many UFO sightings occur in broad daylight. Many involve multiple witnesses. The witnesses include pilots and policemen, even a president, people who are trained to be observant and whose judgment is trusted. The sightings date back to the dawn of recorded history in every country and every culture. UFOs have been around much longer than conventional aircraft, much longer than science fiction writers. There are even references in the Bible to UFO sightings.
It's something that people just don't want to deal with, the press doesn't want to deal with, and people aren't going to listen to something unless Dan Rather or any of your big press people are going to tell them about it. And they're just too spooked. The Air Force has made an art form of ridiculing people who have talked about this thing.
If we know anything about science, it is this: the truth is always changing. What is science fiction today is science tomorrow. For instance, back in the 1800s, the scientific establishment scoffed at persistent reports from peasants and farmers and other country folk about rocks that fell from the sky. It took more than 100 years for the French Academy of Sciences to finally concede that meteorites were real.
Haven't changed a bit. Tonight, to mark the 30th anniversary, we're announcing another project. It's called MysteryWire.com. It's a website, a living, breathing archive and repository for decades of news stories and interviews, along with up-to-the-minute reports, not only about UFOs and Area 51, but military programs and secrets, historical mysteries, aerospace tech, the test site, and a lot more. We'll be adding content daily. We'll have years of news videos, and some of it seen only once on the air, much of it never seen anywhere. MysteryWire.com is the name. The link is live starting right now.
Ooh, that's so exciting. I tried to get on earlier, but no, it wasn't allowed.
So if you've been wondering why I've been talking behind doors and closing
doors.
That's it. I think people are going to enjoy seeing your office, too, because your office is quite loaded with material.
See my house.
All these documents and everything.
And decades of material.
Yeah, we don't throw anything away. So a lot of these long-form interviews we did, we'd use a little piece of them in a news story, in a package, but the rest of it nobody has seen. Tom DeLonge, for example, we reported on him, the whole thing. Lou Elizondo, Harry Reid, those things will all be up there eventually.
Oh, that's good stuff.